This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. In the aftermath of the January 6th attempted coup of this country, the insurrection at the United States Capitol, the attempted overthrow of the United States government, and the attempted overturning of a free and fair election. In the aftermath of that, under a normal presidency with normal leadership, even Republicans, there would have been a cry for justice and consequence. There would have been an opening of the books, so to speak, to find out exactly what took place, who organized, who was involved. It wouldn't just be a mad dash to prosecute the pawns, the foot soldiers, if you will. But with Donald Trump, it is no normal presidency. It is no normal level of patriotism. It is a lack thereof. And that is what we're finding right now in the aftermath with the House Select Committee looking into the events of January 6th. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to conceal what took place. And why would that be? Why would an ostensibly patriotic American who loathes the flag, who literally hugs and molests the flag on stage, why would he not do everything he can to make public the details of that day? We're finding out right now that he's actually preparing to sue to keep documents secret. Reading from this Guardian article, Trump plans to sue to keep Capitol attack records secret. The former, we call him ex-president here. The ex-president hopes to block the release of White House records. Again, I ask the question, why? Why would any patriotic American, why would anyone who led the country, all of America, the president of, why would that person keep these documents or fight to keep these documents secret unless they played a role? Reading from this article, Donald Trump is preparing to sue to block the release of White House records from his administration to the House Select Committee scrutinizing the January 6th attack on the Capitol by claiming executive privilege. Now, I've talked about this yesterday. Specifically, I talked about this, that Donald Trump does not enjoy executive privilege any longer unless Joe Biden declares it so. Only the current elected and sitting president can invoke executive privilege for the office of the presidency. Donald Trump does not enjoy the office of the presidency any longer, and he cannot invoke executive privilege. Trump's moves to try to resist the committee, informed by a source familiar with his planning, are likely to lead to constitutional clashes in court that would test the power of Congress's oversight authority over the executive branch. Now, I think there's a little bit of hand-wringing here on the part of The Guardian. There's a little bit of hand-wringing on the part of the media all over the place, that they're trying to make something out of nothing. Donald Trump, there isn't a constitutional clash here. Donald Trump does not have executive privilege. He cannot claim executive privilege. Going to court to assert executive privilege is a fool's errand made by a fool. Joe Biden has already signaled, if not explicitly, certainly implicitly, that he is going to release the records for the good of the country, for the good of transparency, for the good of consequence, for the good of justice. We will know. The former president said in recent days that he would cite executive privilege to thwart House Select Committee investigators seeking to compel his top aides to testify about January 6th and what he knew of plans to stop the certification of Joe Biden's election win. Again, ex-president of the United States of America, attempting to, as they use their language, would cite executive privilege to thwart House Select Committee. Why would anyone want to thwart the revelation of the truth? Unless they played a role. But the sharpening contours of Trump's intention to stonewall the Select Committee mark a new turning point as he seeks to keep a grip on the rapidly escalating investigation into the events of January 6th that left 5 dead and about 140 others injured. The former president also expects top aides. This is where we talked about the other day when the subpoenas were dropped, where the Select Committee issued subpoenas to compel testimony. Their legal authority under the Constitution, the Congress has the ability to compel testimony. They subpoenaed Mark Meadows. They subpoenaed Dan Scavino, the former caddy of Donald Trump. Kash Patel, a Pentagon official. And Steve Bannon. Of course, you can't forget Steve Bannon, the Leninist who wants to burn it all down, quote from his own mouth, the virulent white supremacist former head of Breitbart. They've been subpoenaed by the committee. And Donald Trump is encouraging them to not obey, to not comply, to disregard the legal authority of the Congress of the United States in its capacity to investigate an attempted coup. The former president also expects top aides Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino, Steve Bannon, and Kash Patel to defy Select Committee subpoenas for records and testimony. Trump, and then here we go at the very end here, Trump is not guaranteed to win in cases over executive privilege given he is no longer president. But the plan could delay and therefore hamper House Select Committee investigators. And that is indeed what his motivation is here. I would hope that Donald Trump is smart enough to know that he no longer has executive privilege, that he alone cannot invoke it. Would hope so. I mean, we would hope. He was president of the United States for 4 years, albeit a dumb f***. But this is where we are. That we have an ex-president gumming up the works of justice, of consequence, because he likely had an outsized role in the planning and orchestration of an attempted overthrow of the United States government, in a wild bid to hold on to power and not allow the election results to be certified in the Congress, and incited a mob to violence and insurrection. I talk a lot about us being in danger as a nation, and we are witnessing one of the most dangerous moments in the history of our union. The Civil War being one, and here we are another, with cries from conservatives that they will secede, that there will be continued violence. We have members of Congress using the word bloodshed related to holding on to their country as they cry about the Great Replacement Theory. Open white supremacist talking points. What do you think? I would love to know, especially if you dissent. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. That would be great. I'd love to connect with you there. And if I bring you value, if my work here is important to you at all, please consider supporting my work, helping produce my work here on the platform for as little as $1.99 a month. You can become a channel member by clicking the button below, the join button, or you can head on over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. That would be fantastic. It's going to take all of us putting in the time, organizing, voting to ensure that just through attrition, we rid ourselves of the clear and present danger that is conservatism, that is republicanism, that is Trumpism in America. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.